12 fillies loaded at the mile start. That off. They break away in the Group 1 Tattersalls Irish 1,000 guineas, and it is California Dreamer, one of the first to show in front, with on the inside Sir Senny. Right with them is Duty First and Swelter. They're closely followed by Lake Victoria as they organise themselves through the first couple of furlongs. And it is California Dreamer who leads Duty First, Lake Victoria with the nose band Swelter, and then Sir Senny and Simmering. City of Memphis Flight, January in by the rail, and then Atzilla, Jalea and Tamam Desert. Reaching the final 5 furlongs, California Dreamer leads a packing field just outside the halfway stage. From Duty First, tracked by Lake Victoria, Swelter, Simmering, Sir Senny Flight, City of Memphis on the outside of Atzilla, with in a line at the back, January, Jalea and Tamam Desert. Very few changes having passed the halfway stage. The Tattersalls Irish 1,000 guineas, and it's California Dreamer and David Egan leading a length. Ridden in second is Duty First and Holly Doyle. On the inside is Lake Victoria and Ryan Moore. 2.5 furlongs to go. After them is Swelter and Chris Hayes. Then Sir Senny Flight racing inside the final quarter. California Dreamer now being chased down by Lake Victoria. Fading is Duty First. City of Memphis stays on. Then Flight and Sir Senny. California Dreamer picked off by the favourite Lake Victoria, who goes to the front in the closing stages. And it is Lake Victoria back on song in the Irish 1,000. Second California Dreamer, then Sir Senny. City of Memphis running on the outside of Duty First. A marvellous day for Ballydoyle.
Yes, she's shown her true colours today, Lake Victoria. 11-10 on favour. There was just a moment's worry when she was in the pocket behind California Dreamer and needed to get out between the eventual runner-up and Duty First, but she did in plenty of times, it turned out. And Don, she stamped her class all over what we thought was a strong lineup beforehand. Just how good a filly are we looking at here?
We don't know, Gary. We still don't know how good she could be. She was brilliant last season as a juvenile. She had that blip in the 1,000 guineas at Newmarket, but she's put that to rights today quite emphatically. And as you say, she did need that gap when California Dreamer was kicking for home and Duty First was staying on stubbornly up on her outside, but that gap arrived when Duty First started to fade, and Lake Victoria had the class and the pace and the strength to go into that gap, and she's gone to the line powerfully as well.
Yes, the race run in difficult enough conditions, just the camera even taking a bit of a buffeting, which hopefully didn't spoil her enjoyment of it too much. Hell of a run from California Dreaming, for all that she probably got an easy enough time up top. Don Robson Aguirre told us the other night after they won the 2-year-old race that he thought she was a big price at 66. We saw earlier on she was at least 100, 125 at one stage. I hope a few people listened to him.
Yeah, no, she's run a massive race. She's got into a lovely rhythm on the front end under David Egan and had them all in behind at this point. Duty First has travelled well for a long way up on the outside. Maybe 7 furlongs is going to be the thing for her. Swelter was just towards the outside as well, travelling well in the early part of the race under Chris Hayes, and simmering further out towards her outside. But all the while Lake Victoria is on the inside rail there, and you're kind of wondering when she's going to get the gap, if she's going to get the gap, if it's going to be if she's going to get a run through the race. And I suppose you make your own luck in these situations in lots of ways, Gary, and she had the pace to be able to get there as soon as Duty First just starts to fade a little bit there. There's a semblance of a gap there as a 2 furlong pole flashes past. Duty First fades a little bit more and California Dreamer goes on more, and that allows Lake Victoria to move into the gap, and from there takes her a couple of strides, but she masters California Dreamer and goes on like the top class filly that she is.
Just like the Colts version yesterday, it did seem to be a steadily enough run affair. Lake Victoria never too far off the pace. The runner-up, of course, made the running. Huge run from Cersini, who just had to come from a little bit further back in the field. City of Memphis has run really well too, Don. I guess you'd have to say Swelter ultimately a little bit disappointing. She backed out of it from a furlong and a half down as the winner really kicked into top gear. And now that she's back in a rich vein of form, Lake Victoria, this filly is going to take some serious stopping wherever she goes.
Yeah, and she can go where she likes, can't she? Like, she's got all I suppose the Coronation Stakes is the obvious option that's open to her at Royal Ascot, but after that she can do what she wants. She could step out and trip as well. She showed such versatility last year, winning the Moyglare here over 7 furlongs first, then going to Newmarket and winning the Cheveley Park over 6, and then going to America and winning the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf over a mile. And she's won the Guineas, and yeah, there's no telling where she could go in or what she could do.
See there, Holly Doyle was just trying to hold her ground on Judy first, but in the end Ryan Moore just had too much horse, got into the clear, and Lake Victoria was away and gone for a brilliant win in the Tattersalls Irish 1000 Guineas.
It was just that, and it was the prophecy that had suggested, no, it wasn't to be Newmarket, that she was just ready to go. 3 weeks later, she's absolutely firing. Lake Victoria, 10 to 11 and favourite wins. California Dreamer 50s in second, Cersini at 20s in third. Lake Victoria, the 11th winner for Aidan O'Brien in the 1000 Guineas, the Irish 1000 Guineas, in the first for 4 years. So Lake Victoria, she achieved so much at the end of her 2-year-old year. She's a Group 1 winner now at 3. And Ryan Moore getting her into seemingly position A. From there, he got to dictate just about the tune he wanted. How impressed?
Yeah, you got to be impressed, and Aidan said all along, didn't he, she would bounce back in this race, and that she did. Ryan Moore, as again, in the perfect position. He was drawn in stall 3. It made it a nice position for him. She broke well, and look how nicely she settled just behind the leaders there. A couple on the outside, a little bit keen. Sweltering in the Juddmonte colours. She came out of stall 9, and Chris has got the best position he could in the end. He's got a decent position, but she was a little bit lit up in the early scrimmaging. And a big run from City of Memphis on the outside there.
She's got a future, hasn't she?
Yeah, I mean, she only won 2 weeks ago.
Different distance.
Over 6 furlongs. Yeah, she had a tough trip round, and she was keen and still finished out the race well. But your eye is drawn to Ryan Moore. He's in a perfect position, but we did say in running, didn't he? He's going to need a little bit of a gap at some point here. And big run from the eventual second, though, California Dream, and David Egan. He's set a honest pace without going too quick, and he's kicked here at the junction, and she's ran a blinder. But Ryan here now, he's trying to make this gap open a bit, and Holly's trying to keep a straight line and hold him in. And once he gets the gap, it's all over.
That's it. The penultimate furlong, comfortably the quickest. The finishing speed percentage of over 112%. She's sprinting at the end of her race, isn't she? And just look at the way that she's gone about and actually won the race. And visually, you can see the stats on one side of the Times, but just watch the way that she's gone and won her race. It is impressive. I think I heard 5 to 4 for the coronation, 3 weeks on Friday. Yeah. I did, apparently. Didn't just come to me. 5 to 4, sounds about right, for the coronation with Coral. Time will tell exactly who's going to be there. Desert Flower seemingly going further and going up to Epsom instead. Zaragana could be there. She's perfect, of course, the contentious 1-2 in France. Based on this, very, very difficult to beat.
I would say so. And Ryan's given her, look, he's given her a couple of taps, but you can't say she had an easy race, because it's a classic. It's a 1000 Guineas, but she was in second, third position the whole way, moved out and quickened away. I don't think Ryan really gave her a tap, did he? Just hands and heels, more or less. She's just a star filly, and she's definitely on the upgrade.
And I know she didn't debut until the end of June. It was the Irish Derby meeting last year when she made her debut. But look at the way that she blossomed with her racing, with everything that sort of came her way last year, and how she achieved towards the end of her 2-year-old year. She's already now at that level and has seemingly gone above it to go and win a classic. But it'd be fascinating to know how high she can rate. This is only her second start at a mile.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think she won at Cheveley Park and shown so much speed last year. But the way she's settling now, she's settling so well. She gets into a nice rhythm. Yeah, what a star filly.
Been some afternoon for Ryan Moore. Ryan, Porto Fortuna, Los Angeles, Lake Victoria, bang, bang, bang. 3 star horses.
Yeah, maybe 4. You missed out the 2-year-old.
I was going to come to him as well, yeah.
Yeah, she was very good today. She wasn't quite there when she went around at Newmarket. She's a lot better than them. She quickened up very well. Very smart filly. She's exciting, does everything beautifully. Her record last year was very good. I'm glad that she's able to get back on track. And the big fella, Los Angeles, I thought that was the best he's ever been. Thought it was a proper horse race, good ones in there. The second horse put it up to him, Cow Partner and White Birch right there. So I think it was a very, very solid race. And you know, people say he's tough and he's hardy, but he's pretty good as well. He's pretty good. Porta Fortuna, she's professional, straightforward, very easy to ride. She's high class, and the 2-year-old is exciting. He's very fast.
Yeah, he almost looked to be going too well for much of that race today, and you eventually got into clear sailing, but it was the response then, I think, it was the most impressive thing. Would you agree?
Yeah, like, obviously he's got to ask it, so we wanted to, if we'd just let him jump out, make all, he'd probably won by 10 lengths today. But we wanted to just do something a bit different, and you know, probably you wouldn't want to be backing him at short price, but he's a very good horse. Yeah.
And just finally come back to this filly, Ryan. I mean, now that she's back in top form, do you think she could almost be untouchable? I mean, that was a strong field today, and she just bossed that race.
Well, look, I don't know if she'll be untouchable. I mean, she's very good. She'll be very hard for the fillies to handle. So we'll see what she does the next day, and if she keeps building on it, I don't think we've got to the bottom of her, so hopefully she can step up again.
Super stuff. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.